I'm actually at a state of head loss where I cannot even start talking. Maybe I'll say something very stupid, but honestly, this has been the most pathetic display, the most predictable display, the most cowardly display again by Arteta, by Arsenal, and us as a whole club. Crossing the ball, the only chances we are creating is by Saka crossing the ball, crossing the ball, crossing the ball, crossing the ball. Someone gets a header. Oh, we missed a chance. Again, crossing the ball, getting corners, crossing the ball, crossing the ball, cross. What the hell do you want a Premier League winning side to look like, Mikel Arteta? You played under Arsene Wenger. You coached with Pep Guardiola. What did you learn? You learned to cross the ball, signing every single player on physicality, no one for technicality. If we actually prioritize technicality over physicality, we would have gone for Ekitike and not Gyökeres. And then, oh wow, Havertz is back. How good was Havertz when he was fit? How technically good is he? Can he do combination plays? Nobody can do combination plays, and it's all Odegaard's fault. Every single time it's always Odegaard's fault when the main focus should be on the midfield. I'm telling you, no combination plays in these areas, no combination plays on these areas. Saliba has ball on these areas, he gets the pass. We try to play here, or we do this and we try to cross the ball here. That is all. This whole area goes empty, so your number 10 will never receive the ball, be it Aberece Eze, be it Mesut Ozil, be it Thomas Muller, or whoever in the history of the game has played the number 10. When they don't receive the ball, they will not create chances. When they don't get touches to the ball, Odegaard always has to come in these areas to get the ball from the keeper, and then he has to take the ball to this area and then combine with Saka. And what does Arteta do? He brings on Saka and he subs off Odegaard for Mikel Merino. What is your obsession with Mikel Merino? I'm trying to not curse or say something bad. What is your obsession with Mikel Merino? Playing 3 DMs when you need a goal against a low block. Us against Bournemouth last season, played this midfield and we saw how we performed, and he did not learn anything from that. Early on in the season, when we needed to create chances and he was playing defensive sides, he was going so timid against Manchester City, against Liverpool, etc. etc. We needed to just simply be a little braver, and then he learned to be braver. He started playing Eze and Odegaard together, and then he forgot everything else again. When we had a chance to go 9 points clear, he backed off. He was scared of consequences. And if you're a man who is scared of consequences, the consequences will arrive. And that is why Arsenal Football Club under Arteta has achieved nothing. That is why we have finished second so many times, because we are scared. We can't believe that we are going to go 9 points clear, or we are not believing that we can win the Premier League. Because, oh my god, what if we concede a goal? He brings Timber to the left back position. He takes his main strength, which is at the right back position, just because he's too scared. Miles Kelly is not defensively as solid as the other players. Oh well, surprise, surprise. Now Timber is not that good at left back, as good as he is at the right back position, and Ben White is nowhere near Timber's level right now. So you make two positions weaker instead of one. Big brain time, Mikel Arteta. Genius, you're a genius. That is why I put you in the best manager in the world position. That is why I back you so much, because when the crunch situations come, when it is time to show that we are the best team in the world, you back off, you make us timid, you suck the confidence out of all our attacking players, and you expect us to win games by heading crosses. That is the level we need to achieve. Obviously, the famous formula for winning big titles to win the Champions League: cross the ball and head it in. People will call us Stoke City because of you. It is not because of the players we have. It is not because Odegaard is not good enough, or Abrechese is not good enough, or our attackers are not good enough. It is because our manager is timid. He is a coward in situations where pressure arises. He's just focused on, why aren't you running back? Why aren't you defensively solid? This and that. and still we don't end up with a sort of 15 goal conceded in a season stat, because eventually our defenders tire off and we soak so much pressure we cannot handle it anymore. Nottingham Forest away is not as difficult fixture as it used to be last season. This team is not as good as it looked like in this particular game. They're not a bad side. No Premier League side is a bad side. Burnley drew away at Anfield today. West Ham won against Spurs, etc. etc. Wolves are doing better than they were. But to be very honest, if you are going to win the Premier League, you have to play like champion, and you never do. You never do that, and it is just so disappointing because in a season where we are top of the Premier League, we're top in the Champions League. We have actually gained a point on Manchester City today, but it does not feel like it. Manchester United is going to come at the Emirates Stadium. They are going to be good at counter attacks. They are going to sit deep and counter. What are we going to do then? Manchester United will surely be scoring goals. One Calafiori injury and it's all gone. You're rotating players for the Premier League just because you have to prioritize the Carabao Cup. It shows that we are letting the foot off the gas, or whatever that phrase is, because we think that, oh, we are comfortable in the Premier League. If you think you're comfortable in the Premier League, Arteta will obviously come and say that, oh, we are never um, we are never losing focus, game at a time, etc., etc. But genuinely, I think we are. I don't know. I seriously do not know what we are doing. How have we gone back to playing like cowards when we had learned from that? We would never have won against Newcastle if we didn't learn our lessons from that previous Manchester City or Liverpool games. We had learned our lesson and then we forgot everything. We back to original settings of playing Mikel Merino at number 10. Oh, Odegaard has not received the ball. He has not had a good game. So let's play Mikel Merino because he had one or two good touches and good passes against Chelsea, and because he can attack the box. Oh, well, guess what? You can't rely on headers to win the Premier League. You cannot rely on headers to win the Premier League. Mikel Merino will not win you the Premier League. Odegaard and Saka will win you the Premier League. And when you play Madueke and Odegaard together, Madueke never passes to Odegaard in these positions. It is so obvious to see with my eyes, and Arteta cannot see this. When Madueke reaches these positions and Odegaard is in space in here, he prefers to cut back and cross or pass himself. But the thing with Odegaard Saka combination is whenever Saka goes here, he brings two defenders with him, and Odegaard gets space. He passes to him, and then Odegaard brings his magic. But Odegaard never got into those positions. He rarely got the ball today. One or two places where he got the ball, he was also weak because your number 10 needs to get into the game first. For large parts of the game, he didn't even receive the ball. He didn't get too much space, and he didn't even choose to come deep and receive it from the keeper to get into the game, because maybe Arteta told him to stay in those positions. And Ebreche as stood on those positions, and we couldn't find him as well. So the main concern is because Zubimendi and Rice are not that good in the combination play of things. Like, we are not technically gifted midfield. We are more of a Zubimendi is technically gifted, but he was not that good in this game. In pressure situations, you expect calmness from him to get past the player to do a tummy like Saliba does, but he did not. He was just clearing the ball when under pressure. He was not trying to control it. And last parts of it is coaching. We are bringing a throw-in coach. Yeah, you are throwing away the Premier League or big titles every single season. That is why you bring in a throwing coach, so that you can actually throw the Premier League title away. Why don't you bring a coach who can actually teach players these strangles in these areas to for players to be braver? Why is always Saliba the responsible one? Why is our centre back the responsible one to make those progressive passes in the middle of the pitch? Rice doesn't do that. It is so comfortable. You are an Arsenal footballer. Not, you are here. Simple. Pass to this player. This player will pass to this player. This player will try to cut in. He will try to cut in. He'll see a lot of bodies here. So our number 10 is filled up with bodies of opposition players. So then he'll take it to his weaker foot, cross in the ball, and our center forwards, Gyökeres, who is good at absolutely nothing right now, will do nothing about it, and other players like Jesus or Saka, etc., etc., they'll try to head the ball in, but they are not specialized at heading the ball in. They are not Chris Wood, who was actually in Nottingham Forest. So it is not a high percentage chance. It is a low percentage chance when we cross the ball to Jesus, Saka, and even Mikel Merino at times. It is a low percentage chance, and we rely on low percentage chance. So we end up scoring no goals in two consecutive games, and this has always been coming. The moment you get scared of consequences, the consequences will arrive. And Arteta has seen this time and time again, and he's not learning from it. I thought he learned in the early part of the season, but he is not learning. And yeah, tomorrow if Aston Villa win, uh, they'll cut 2 points lead from us, and then we'll be just 4 points clear. But we are honestly just looking at Manchester City, and Manchester City don't have difficult fixtures after they end up with their Tottenham away, Liverpool away fixtures. After that, they have easier fixtures. They have a relatively smoother run to the end of the season, and they still play us, and then they'll sign Guehi. This was the time when they had lost their centre backs, when they had lost their players, when their confidence was low, and they were on a bad run to get to the lead where it is unsurmountable, to get to the lead where it cannot be like they cannot catch us, and we dropped that advantage as well. We should have been ideally be securing the Premier League title by March, and then just focusing on the Champions League, and we threw away that chance as well. Now we'll have to focus on Champions League and Premier League, and then we'll be confused. Next game we have to play Inter Milan. Who do you play? You rested all your players against Nottingham Forest because you wanted to play your best players against Inter Milan, but you're already top of the Champions League spots. So why are you not prioritizing a Premier League game and instead prioritizing a UEFA Champions League game where you are pretty much secure that you are going to finish top two, and to be very honest, you are going to finish at the first position if you beat Kairat. And if you are like scared of Kairat, I don't know, but where is the like logic in these things? Nottingham Forest away is always difficult, and you need your best players against them. First 60 minutes, if Saka and Odegaard play, I think we are creating another chance, and we are scoring one of them at least. And yeah, if Martinelli takes that chance, I swear if Arteta comes to the press conference and says, if Martinelli takes that chance, we win the game, and nobody's talking about this, he just doesn't get it. Honestly, like I cannot watch this football, even if my premier team is at the top of the table. I will never be accepting this kind of football from us. Like I genuinely want to just enjoy some football. I know a lot of low blocks we are playing and it is difficult, but we genuinely lack a lot in the middle of the pitch, and the fact that we don't sign progressive players there, signing Kai Havertz to play number 8, then signing Mikel Merino to play number 8, absolutely ruined my mood the moment I saw these two players come to my football club, and it showed me the mentality. Gyökeres, I didn't know me. I thought maybe we need a striker who can just score goals, who has a habit of scoring goals. But looking at Gyökeres, I don't know what the scouting team was doing. Like if you actually see his play, he had the most Gyökeres chance in the world. Like that is what he was known for in his league, and he couldn't outmuscle Morello because he's just stronger than whatever Portuguese defenders used to be. That is obviously very natural. The fact that when I saw Ekitike, I genuinely knew in the center forward market this is the best center forward, and I'm not saying that when after just watching his output for Liverpool. I'm saying that when I was seeing his highlights, his just comms, Just 10 minutes comp if you watch for Gyökeres, Ekitike, and Sesko, you know who is the best player. And somehow we just choose these bulldozers type players, and we are always working so hard every single game, and that is why we are not like, we lack artistry in this team. We lack the beautiful football in this team. Arsene Wenger needs to come and have a chat with Mikel Arteta about how beautiful football looks like. He needs to learn that. He needs to adapt to it, because you will never become the best coach in the world if you cannot have control over these areas. And Mikel Arteta has zero control over these areas, and it has been a long time coming. We lost to PSG not because we were worse than them, they were stronger than us. It was because they are just braver than us. They like playing combination play football. Their midfielders are not scared of shooting, and they make it a game where it is about artistry. It is not about physicality anymore. And we lost it then and there. Their centre forwards have more confidence coming to a UEFA Champions League semi-final fixture than us. That is the most obvious thing I can see about this team, that not only does Mikel Arteta not have control over these advanced attacking midfielder positions, he sucks the joy out of the attacking players. Look at Eberechi. Look at like even Martin Odegaard, who started the season well, who obviously got injured, but if in most of the games Odegaard has been in great form. But somehow something happens where Arteta gives them some sort of instruction that just kills all their form. Bukayo Saka had no one to combine with in the last minutes of the play. That is why he was always going on his um, right foot and crossing the ball, because he did not have Odegaard to combine with. Mikel Merino is not that good at combining. And then we get a free kick position, and Declan Rice chooses to cross it instead of having a shot. That is what kills the joy out of it. Overcoached, over analyzing everything. Absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And even though we are top of the table and we are looking good in every single aspect of every single trophy we are competing for, it's absolutely pathetic if we are doing this. And we know the result. What happens if we keep going like this? Yeah. That's all I have to say. And if we look, if we try to look at the ratings of these players, Ben White not good enough. Julian Timber, who should have actually got a red card, like second yellow. I thought he could have got a second yellow as well in the end, but okay. Martinelli, absolutely pathetic. Madueke was fine, nothing special. Gyökeres, pathetic. Zulmendi was not good enough. Declan Rice didn't do anything special, just gets ratings for running around the pitch. Nothing special, to be honest. Odegaard didn't even touch the ball. Yeah, Saka was good. He was the only one trying. Eberechi came. Nothing special. Bad pass. One pass he gave was pretty bad. Trossard didn't have too much control over the left wing. He was trying, but not good enough. Merino again tried to do something, but even his best is not good enough, to be honest, at number 10 position. Gabriel Jesus, in a physical game, what do you expect of Gabriel Jesus? So, yeah, that is all that happened in this game, and Arteta needs to fix up, and Arsenal need to fix up, because they are just letting us down time and time again, and we have waited for too long. We have waited for 20 years for this moment, and you're sucking the joy out of this moment. I think do better, just do better. Bye.